Hey, what's up guys? This video was made by Group 7. In this video, we're going to talk about the Grand Canal and delve into its close connection with Chinese business. I hope you enjoy this video.
Canals are artificial waterways or channels to convey water or for transportation of water vehicles. There are different types of artificial waterways, which are navigations and true canal. A navigation comprises of a series of channels that run roughly parallel to the valley and stream bed of an unimproved river. It always shares the drainage basin of the river. A vessel uses the calm parts of the river itself as well as improvements, cutting across the same changes in height. A true canal is a channel that traverses a drainage divide, making a navigable channel connecting two different drainage basins. On the other hand, there are two broad types of canal. One of them is waterway, and the other one is aqueducts. Waterways are canals and navigations used for carrying vessels, transporting goods and people, while aqueducts are water supply canals that are used for the conveyance and delivery of potable water for human consumption. Municipal uses hydropower canals, and agriculture irrigation. They carry immense importance to commerce and development, growth, and vitality of a civilization. The Grand Canal, as known as the King Han Grand Canal, is the longest and oldest canal or artificial river in the world. It starts at Beijing, then passes through Tianjin and the provinces of Hebei, Shandong, Jiangsu, and Zhejiang to the city of Hangzhou, with links to the Yellow River and Yangtze River. The total length of the Grand Canal is 1,776 kilometers. Its greatest height reaches the mountains of Shandong, at a summit of 42 meters. Constructed in sections from the 5th century BC onwards, it was conceived as a unified means of communication for the empire for the first time in the 7th century AD. This led to a series of gigantic construction sites, creating the world's largest and most extensive civil engineering project prior to the Industrial Revolution. It formed the backbone of the empire's inland communication system, transporting grain and strategic raw materials, and supplying rice to feed the population. By the 13th century, it consisted of more than 2,000 kilometers of artificial waterways, linking 5 of China's main river basins. It has played an important role in ensuring the country's economic prosperity and stability, and is still in use today as a major means of communication.
We have now come to Tang, Song, and Yuan dynasties. Tang dynasty mostly saw the economic impact of the canal. Back then, the Grand Canal was an essential route for goods transportation. The use of the Grand Canal had significantly reduced the cost of grain shipping. This effect, unsurprisingly, led to a boom in the amount of grain carried through the canal. According to historians, nearly 150 million kilograms of grain per year made its appearance in the canal during the 5 decades from the year 681. Furthermore, the Grand Canal gave rise to the economic prosperity of its surrounding cities. For example, Yangzhou became a major port city in Tang Dynasty thanks to its closeness to the Grand Canal. Imports, as well as goods produced in southern China, first found their way to Yangzhou before reaching their northern destination through the canal. Song Dynasty, on the other hand, experienced remarkable technological advance on the use of the Grand Canal. A Song official named Cha Wenyue invented the first pound lock in history, with the initial intention being to reduce the accidental rate in the canal. At that time, the canal was a dominant route for transporting tax grain, so each accident in the canal actually gave opportunities for thieves to steal the grain. It follows that the introduction of the pound lock would effectively reduce the loss of tax grain to theft. However, the major and ultimate function of the pound lock was to facilitate a ship's upward travel to higher water levels in the canal. As mentioned in the introduction, the summit of the canal could reach as high as 42 meters above sea level. A pound lock could reduce the difference in the water levels of its two sides by adjusting the amount of water on each side. During Yuan Dynasty, a dramatic change to the Grand Canal had taken place. Specifically, the route of the canal had been straightened compared to the original one since the canal was constructed. Luoyang and Kaifeng were no longer the canal cities, having been replaced by their eastern counterparts, Shandong. As a result, the entire route of the canal got closer in shape to a straight line, and the total length was contracted by nearly 700 kilometers. Scholars argue that this process boosted the efficiency and helped Beijing-based Yuan government better utilize the canal. This way, the canal became an increasingly effective instrument for the Yuan government to centralize its power. Tang Song Yuan era overall was accompanied by considerable economic benefit arising from the canal, and witnessed the progressive usage and transformation of the canal.